Hey there, wrestling fans. Welcome to this week's edition of Superstars of the Ring. I am your host, Eric Snook, and we have a great episode this week. First, we're going to get into some of the biggest happenings that have been going on in CCW, and that is concerning the state of the CCW Heavyweight Championship, which currently belongs to the outlaw Jamie McKinnon. Now, he has been embroiled in a feud with the Jesus Freak Logan Stevens. Now, they had a match a while back, as you might remember. Logan Stevens able to pin Jamie McKinnon. McKinnon, however, had his foot on the rope. The match restarted, and McKinnon won the match. Now, Jamie McKinnon has refused to give a rematch to the Jesus Freak Logan Stevens, and in fact, we have not heard. He's been very silent. The outlaw Jamie McKinnon has refused to speak to us even over the past few weeks. Now, we've also, in that time period, have gotten tons of emails, phone calls, Facebook messages concerning their opinions on the state of the rematch. All the CCW fans have been clamoring and been asking for Jesus Freak Logan Stevens to get another shot at the CCW Heavyweight Championship. And in response to all of those messages that we've gotten from the CCW fans, Logan Stevens came into our studios unannounced today. Usually we have time to edit together the video and put a nice background on the green screen, but not today. Today, just before we were set to put this out there on YouTube and on ccwrestling.biz, Logan Stevens burst into the studio and decided he was going to show us what was on his mind now. So without further ado, let's take you away to the Jesus Freak, Logan Stevens.
So I got sent an email from CCW offices asking me, what do I think of the CCW champion outlaw, Jamie McKinnon? Well, you know, what I used to think when I looked at him was fear. What I used to think when I looked at him was the thought of that lariat, that left arm that he swung, that at any moment could take your head off. But now when I look at him, and Jamie, look at me. Now I see a coward. You see, you heard the 1, the 2, and the 3, and now you're running scared. That's why you won't grant me my title shot. That's why. Because you know that any given moment, I can hit the spinning wheel kick. And the 1, 2, 3. Jamie, I will. And I mean, I will be CCW champion in 2017. Be blessed.
Welcome back, wrestling fans. There we heard from the Jesus Freak Logan Stevens, and once again he has stated he wants another rematch at the CCW Heavyweight Championship, and he's also stated very boldly, I might add, that by the end of 2017, just 6 more months, by the end of this year, he will be the CCW Heavyweight Champion. Now, I'm sure Jamie McKinnon will have his own thoughts on that, and hopefully at some point we will hear from the outlaw. But we're going to switch gears a little bit. We're actually going to talk about another gentleman who's had a shot at the CCW Heavyweight Championship this year, and that is the silent film star Donny Bronson, and he is in our match of the week. He recently faced off with the leader of the Society of Sin, the Southern States Champion here in CCW, Dante Steel, and that is our match of the week. Dante Steel taking on the silent film star, Donny Bronson. there you see Donny Bronson stepping into the ring with Dante Steel, the leader of the Society of Sin. Now, these two guys have never met in ring competition before, but Donny Bronson has tasted that devastating super kick by Dante Steel. One of Bronson's first matches here in CCW. But ever the sportsman, Donny Bronson offering a handshake, a gentlemanly handshake before the match starts. But Steel slaps it away, goes for the attack. Donny Bronson showing he is getting better and better here in the ring, and again offering a handshake. Dante Steel, and again, Donny Bronson has really taken Dante Steel by surprise. Donny Bronson, the silent film star, quickly becoming one of the top superstars here in CCW today. One of the most improved superstars since their debut. And he has shown time and again that he belongs here in CCW, but right now he's got a former heavyweight champion and a current Southern States champion going to work on him. As evil and diabolical as Dante Steel is, a lot of times people forget how good he is in the wrestling ring. But right now, Donny Bronson might be sending Dante Steel flipping over in the ring, and he did. And a huge clothesline takes down Dante Steel. And a beautiful arm drag, and Dante Steel is reeling right now. He has got him hooked. What's he got planned here? And he drops an elbow right in the center of the chest. This could be it. 1-2. But not quite enough. Dante's still able to get the shoulder up. Bronson cannot believe it. And ironically enough, Bronson wants some noise. The silent film star asking the crowd for some noise. But he needs to keep his sights set on Dante Steel. You can never trust the leader of the Society of Sin. And that is exactly what I was talking about. Too distracted with the crowd. He gets that super kick, and this could be it. 2, 3. And a rookie mistake pays off with Dante Steel as he is able to capitalize and get that super kick in. And Dante Steel is your winner. The silent film star, Donny Bronson.
Have you ever dreamed of being a professional wrestler? Have you ever dreamed of making it to the top and wearing championship gold? Well, here is your opportunity. Email us today at customerservice@ccwrestling.biz. The CCW Training School is accepting new students now. Start your journey today on your way to greatness.
Welcome back, wrestling fans. There we saw the silent film star Donny Bronson in action against Dante Steel. Now, Donny Bronson has been the target of various and numerous verbal attacks by Frankie Morris on his new segment here on Superstars of the Ring called Frankly With Frankie. And some of those attacks have been non-verbal, a way of mocking Donny Bronson. Now we have another edition of Frankly With Frankie, and he's challenged Donny Bronson to show up on his segment. There is a special guest on this segment of Frankly With Frankie. So without further ado, let's take you away to Frankie Morris and Frankly with Frankie.
Hey CCW fans. After a long day in the CCW training facility, I decided I would just film Frankly With Frankie in advance. And today's special guest host, as promised. Well, he's not a guest host. I couldn't get the guest host as promised, actually. But I do have someone to interview. I have an interviewee. Darian Drummond, ladies and gentlemen. Only the best for Darian Drummond.
What up, Frank?
How you doing?
Doing good, thanks.
Real big fan of this man's work.
Yeah,
Works here at CCW. So tell me a little bit about yourself.
Well, Frank, what I do is I go out there, I beat people up, I get paid, I go home.
Sorry, what was that?
You're not even paying attention.
Oh yeah, dude, I'm sorry. One more time for everybody.
Well, what I said is I go out to the ring and I beat.
Have you had a match against Donny Bronson?
No.
Okay. Just wondering, because you know Donny Bronson was supposed to be on the show today and he didn't show up.
Well, luckily you had me.
No. I got you, but I'm just wondering where he's at. Okay, I got more questions for you. What championship belt are you interested in going after?
What championship am I going after?
I'll tell you which one Donny Bronson's interested in going after. The World Heavyweight Championship belt. Okay? Frankie Morris deserved that title shot. And for some reason, Donny Bronson gets it. I have a pinfall victory over Donny Bronson. A pinfall. 1, 2, 3, Donny.
No, I'm right here.
And you won't even show up on my show?
You know what I'm talking about, Donnie?
Huh? Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah,
Make this about me now?
Yeah, I'm sorry, dude.
Don't let it happen
I'm
again.
stressed out about that, dude. I'm thinking about some. Ever been interested in maybe the tag team belts?
You know I don't really.
You know who I know's not interested in the tag team belts? Donny Bronson. Because Donny Bronson won't even come on my show. So I know he doesn't have friends. He doesn't have any backup to come here with because he's scared of me. He won't one-on-one me. He has to have buddies. He doesn't have any. So he won't even show up.
You know what? Obviously you got a thing with Donnie, so I'm gonna let you bring him on the show. Call me when you want a real star on your show. Bye.
Alright, I got another question. You know whose fault this is? This is your fault, Bronson. You see my sweaty, dirty face? I've been training. I'm coming after you, buddy. Drummond, come back! I need someone for the show, dude!
Welcome back, fans. There we see Frankie Morris essentially just driving away his guest, Darian Drummond. He brought Drummond onto the show. Supposedly, I guess he was going to interview him or chat with him about his career and his start here in CCW, but instead, Frankie Morris could not help himself but to talk about the silent film star Donny Bronson, and I'm sure we're going to have more coming out of this feud. Frankie's a little upset, a little salty that he has not had his shot at the CCW Heavyweight Championship, but Donny Bronson has, even though Frankie has pinned Donny Bronson. But Frankie seems to forget that Donny Bronson won the Stampede 20-man over-the-top rope battle royal to get his shot at the Heavyweight Championship. As you can see, guys, the CCW Heavyweight Championship is the one championship in our business that everybody wants to get. Everybody is climbing and clawing their way to the top to get a shot at the CCW Heavyweight Champion, which right now is the Outlaw Jamie McKinnon. Now, in a few weeks, on July 8th in Lake City, Florida, we're going to have a big showdown in Lake City, and I hope you guys are excited about this. Just announced recently, Kikino Palomalu is going to be having the biggest match of his short career so far. He's going to take on the Outlaw Jamie McKinnon, the over 2-decade veteran in the squared circle, and Kikino is going to have a big task ahead of him if he hopes to take down the Outlaw. That's going to be the Heavyweight Championship match on July 8th in Lake City. We're going to be announcing more matches here in the next couple of weeks, so stay tuned to that. But that's going to wrap up this week's edition of Superstars of the Ring. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next week.